Hello viewers, 4DIYers here with another tutorial video for everyone. This particular video here will be doing a demonstration on how to replace the spark plugs on a Dodge 4.7 liter V8. The vehicle I am working with here today is a 2003 Dodge Dakota. First, using an 8mm socket or a standard screwdriver, loosen the intake tube gear clamps. One will be on the airbox and then the other one will be on the intake duct before the throttle body. Remove the rubber intake tube, which is just a sliding fit. Next, loosen the gear clamp on the throttle body using an 8mm socket or a standard screwdriver. Moving on to the plastic intake duct, there will be two 10mm bolts which need to be removed on each side. Disconnect the sensor by the throttle body by depressing the tab and pulling straight off. Here are the location of the mounting holes on the plastic intake duct. Next, remove the snap clips holding in the coolant pipes by using a standard screwdriver. Here's the locations of the two clips. Starting with the first spark plug, remove the 10mm nut holding on the coil pack. The electrical connector does need to be removed in order to have enough room to slide out the coil pack. Depress the tab and pull the connector straight off. There is a small O-ring around the rubber boot. Give the coil pack a little jiggle when removing it, which will reduce the risk of damaging the O-ring. Gaining access to the spark plug comfortably, I'm using a 3" and 6" extension together, which is used for almost all spark plugs. Next, using a 5/8 spark plug socket with a rubber grommet insert, which allows you to remove and install the spark plug easily. If you don't have that feature, a long magnet or mechanic's claw will work as well. As for the spark plug gapping, depending on what type you have purchased, they may require gapping or to at least be double checked. This particular style for this engine that I have purchased does require to be checked. I will be using feeler gauges, but you can use a spark plug tool as well. The gap specification is located under the hood on a white tag and it is 40 thousandths of an inch. Then install the new spark plug, but be careful not to cross thread it. Moving on to the next plug, you will need to remove the plastic bracket from the intake. Remove the 10mm nut. As for this bracket, it can be a tight fit, so take your time to remove it and ensure that it doesn't break. Now you can remove the coil to gain access to the spark plug. For the remaining two spark plugs on the driver's side, it's a similar procedure as the first spark plug. Next, on the passenger side, starting with the rear plug, using a deep socket and only a 6" extension is required. If you're using a 3" extension as well, it will hit the firewall as there isn't enough room. As for the next two spark plugs closer to the front of the vehicle, they can be removed using the standard procedure, which is using a deep socket, 6" and 3" extension. Now as for the last front passenger spark plug, again there is a plastic bracket on the intake that will need to be removed similar to the previous one. This can be done by removing the 10mm nut and carefully removing the bracket out of its location. Once done, you can then gain access to the coil and the spark plug. Reinstall all the other parts in reverse of removal. When installing the rubber intake tube, there is locating tabs and slots so it does fit on correctly. This concludes the rest of my tutorial video. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to post them below. Also, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thank you for watching.